strive to be a congregation that welcomes people of all ages, races, religious beliefs, backgrounds, sexual orientations, gender identities, and abilities. We belong to the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations, and we are guided and inspired by its values and principles. Our values and principles move us to remember that those of us in the Pioneer Valley live on the unceded homeland of the Pecumtuck, Nunatak, and Western Nipmuc peoples. We acknowledge our responsibility to confront the legacies of dispossession and systemic racism that are part of our collective history. And we affirm and celebrate the many legacies that inspire us. We have drawing materials and other ways to occupy hands on the tables in the back. Restrooms are downstairs and reach through one of these doors. You can either take the stairs or an elevator and return the same way. We have a brief announcement just to get these on your calendar, save the date. Janet's last sermon will be June 9th, and her goodbye open house is on the 15th, and ritual celebrating Janet on the following morning on the 16th. So please mark those on your calendars, and we'll hope to see you all there. We're here to celebrate, to reflect, and to support one another. It is good to be together. And now we begin our service.
For 5,000 years or more, human beings have gathered together. They called upon the spirits of air, earth, fire, and water. They called the bear and the deer. They pleaded for heroes of old to slay the monsters of their fears. They sang songs they learned from their grandparents, and they moved in appointed ways or in ways that were new. They gathered to make sense of their lives, to make sense of their place in the cosmos, and so do we. We come together this morning to make sense of ourselves and of the universe in which we live as best we are able. We invoke the power and wonder of life itself so that we can remember, and so that we can lift our eyes and open our ears to all that is beautiful and true. Please rise now in body or spirit and join us in saying the words to accompany lighting our chalice. We light this flame to symbolize the community we share, the learning and mystery that encompass us, the commitments that sustain us. Here we speak the language of memory and hope. Here we are welcomed and our journeys are embraced.
Good morning. Our story this morning is called Pebble, a story about belonging by Susan Milford. There once was a pebble on a rocky shore. It was small and round and nearly smooth. You could imagine holding that rock in your hand, that little pebble. Each morning, the seabirds sang to the pebble, and each afternoon, the ocean breezes gently teased it. The pebble was warmed by the sun and bathed by the rain. On clear nights, it was dazzled by the stars. Sometimes a storm pounded the shore, and the sea threw itself over the pebble. That was exciting, even a little frightening. Then the winds would die down, and the sea would retreat, and the pebble would return to its small and round and nearly smooth life. But the pebble longed for more. If I were a boulder, the pebble said, I might be part of a stone wall or the foundation of a great building. You will never be part of a stone wall or building, the other rocks pointed out. You are too small for that. If I were a grain of sand, the pebble said, I could be shaped in a sandcastle or melted into a piece of glass for a fine window. Not in a million years, the other rock said with a laugh. You are too big for that. If If I had flecks of mica, the pebble said, or a blaze of shining white, maybe then I would be something special. Stop dreaming, the other rocks advised. You are what you are. The pebble tried hard to accept what the others said. Still, it felt a longing it could not put a name to. There must be more to life than this, the pebble thought, but I don't know what. The pebble gave up trying to understand. Life was good, after all. The sky was a brilliant blue, and the air tasted of salt. Scuttling crabs tickled the pebble, and there was nothing so beautiful as the full moon dancing on the water. But the empty feeling would not go away. One day, a boy walked along the shore with his parents. The boy let the seawater swirl around his ankles. He watched the gulls swoop overhead, and he laughed as the shell he was reaching for started to move. Warmed by the sun and by everything around him, the boy was filled with a sense of wonder. When it was time to leave, the boy asked his parents to wait. "I won't be long," he said. "I just need to find something." The boy wandered down the beach. He noticed a smooth shard of beach glass. "This will remind me of the color of the sea," the boy said to himself. But it wasn't quite what he was searching for, and he put it down. A little further along, he spotted a white feather. "This will remind me of those noisy gulls," the boy thought. But the feather wasn't what he had in mind either. The boy picked up a shell. "This will remind me of the creatures on the shore," he said. He turned the shell over and over in his hands, pondering, considering. And then he saw it. It was small and round and nearly smooth. It fit perfectly in his palm, and the boy knew at once. "This will be my pocket friend," he said. "It will remind me always of this wonderful day." He called out to his mother and father, "I found what I was looking for." The pebble felt the warmth of the boy's hand all around it. It glowed with delight as the boy ran his fingers over the pebble's smallness and roundness and nearly smoothness. The pebble, too, knew at once. "And I have found what I was looking for." And that is the end. Thank you.
Now, that book was a gift of the Osgood Felton family many years ago. I invite you now to rise in body or spirit and sing hymn number 4, "I Brought My Spirit to the Sea." Invite you to turn and greet everyone on Zoom, and then say hello to the neighbor next to you. Hello, everyone on Zoom. Hello, Wendla. Lovely to see you. Hi, Georgia. Naomi, nice to see you this morning. Joanna, who else is there? Arjuna, great to see you. Dana, hi Dana, hi Claire. Hello, Julie and Kim. Who else is there? Sally, good morning. Chris, hi Chris. Hi Christine. Ginny, good to see you. Hi Gail and John. Allison, Judy, Chris Stetson. Hi Laura. Hi Greg. Peggy. Great to see you all. And Julie Chandler, Sally Weiss. My screen keeps skipping around, so if I missed you, hi Susan. Definitely is skipping around. Hi Christine, another Christine. We have lots of Christines this morning. That was Christine Sass. And Steve and Teresa, great to see you.
Yeah, I tried that before, nothing happened.
And I
Then
hope everyone has a beautiful day. It's such
not
a
letting me,
gorgeous day today. I
and
hope
I
you
don't
have a
know
wonderful
how
day.
you do it.
And now it's time for anyone who is leaving for religious education activities to depart, and we will sing you out. So this has been the service at which we read the names of people who have died in the past year, people whom you want to remember and honor. And there are slips of paper and pencils in the pews. They're on the edges if you need one. If you don't have one and want one, you can just put your hand up and one of the ushers will bring them. We will collect the names during the interlude that will follow the piece that I'm going to read. And those of you online can put, you can put the names in the chat and we'll read them from the chat. So this is something called We Gather to Remember by Nicole McKay, who is a Canadian Unitarian Universalist military chaplain. We gather to remember those who could not grow old and those forced to grow old long before their time. We gather to mourn and grieve with one another all our losses, the people, the stories, the loved ones, the futures that could have been. We gather to do the hard work of facing the difficult realities of our present and our past, where there is conflict, violence, war, and hatred. We gather to hold space for silence as we try to make meaning of our history to help us work for peace and justice today. We gather to rekindle our source of hope for the future by recognizing in one another our shared humanity. And we join in a commitment for a better tomorrow. We gather because we need community to do all of this holy work. A few minutes, the ushers will collect. They'll give you a minute or two, and if you have a name to write down, they will Collect your piece of paper as Ellen plays. We will now take the time to read the names and honor the people you have chosen to remember this morning. And I invite you to join me in the reading that's printed in your order of meeting and also on the screen. It is right to remember the names who gave us strength in living. We share a history with those lives. We belong to the same motion. We, the living, carry them with us. We are their voices, their hands, and their hearts. And these are some of the people we carry with us. June Luff. Or is it Jane? Sharon Caldera. Nadia Telsey. Bill O'Neill. Miss Ethel. Sister Irene. David Francis Stone. Jerry Fisk.
Lee Clark, Ann Detka, Kelly Kane, Joyce Sullivan, Maria Felder, Christine
Bukes.
Bukes, Bill Carey, Cheryl Lower, William Otterbein,
Yuba Stingla. Bobby Schacht, Bob Zimmerman, Chloe Metcalf, Simon Rackzell, whose name was formerly Simon Loisel Rackenberg, Debbie Keeney, Alice Suvers, Josh Stedman.
Eric Day, Sperry, Philip S. Riley, Marissa Malik, John Wallace Willoughby, Tony Winarski, Linda Baruch Leon, Lisa Colt.
Let us honor them in the fullness of who they were and in the fullness of all the feelings that accompany our memories. And I invite you now to rise in body or spirit and join in singing hymn number 336, All My Memories of Love. And we have one other name. It's Richard M. Sherman. We honor his memory also. Today, as every Sunday, we will take a collection to support the good work of this community and organizations whose values we honor and support. And I believe those are listed on the slide. Your generosity, our generosity, makes everything we do possible. And our morning offering will now be given and very gratefully received. So this weekend, especially Memorial Day tomorrow, is an occasion for remembering and honoring the dead. And it's celebrated in the United States on the last Monday of May each year. It was originally designated as a holiday for honoring those who died in the Civil War, and later to honor all war dead. And so that is how it has become a day when people remember and honor loved ones who have died. And it has also become a celebration of the beginning of summer with barbecues and parties, and for some reason, which I don't know, the Indianapolis 500. Why? Well, that's a different question. Yesterday and today, the weather is cooperating just marvelously, and the rest of our service is a reflection on and celebration of summer. So I'm going to read you some words to a very old song, a translation from the Wessex dialect of Middle English, and then a small group of us will sing it for you. Summer is a coming in, loudly sing cuckoo, groweth seed and bloweth mead, and springeth wood anew, sing cuckoo. Ewe bleateth after lamb, the cow lows after the calf, bullock starteth, buck too verteth. Merrily sing cuckoo, cuckoo, well you sing cuckoo. Oh, cease thee never now, cuckoo, sing cuckoo now, sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo.
Summer is a comin' in, bird a sing cuckoo, groweth seed and bloweth med, and spring the wood anew. Sing cuckoo, summer is a comin' in, bird a sing cuckoo, groweth seed and bloweth med, summer is a comin' in, groweth seed and bloweth med, spring the wood anew. Sing cuckoo, sing is a comin' in. Summer is a comin' in, sing the seed and bloweth med, sing the seed and bloweth med, sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo.
And for our meditation, I'm going to read you the poem Summer Day by Mary Oliver, which I'm sure is a poem many of you know and love. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me what it is you plan to do with your one wild and precious life. Let's take a moment together in silence.
You bathe me in the warmth of your caresses. You turn my eager nose to tender yeses. You sweep away my sorrow with your sigh. Estate. Oh, how the golden sunlight bends the willow. Your blossoms send their perfume to my pillow. Oh, who could love you half as much as I always feel you near me with every song the morning breeze composes, with all the tender wonder of the roses. Each time the setting sun smiles on the sea, Estate. And when you sleep beneath the snowy cover, I'll hold you in my heart just like a mother, and wait until you come again to me. Estate. So Mary Oliver is the poet of paying attention. And summer is the season for being out of doors as much of the day as possible and savoring its gifts. What are you doing with your one precious life? And how are you paying attention? Summer can offer us time to pause and reflect on who and where we are, on whether or not we're paying attention, and to take a little time to be idle and blessed. So summer for me stirs up early childhood memories of that time when there was nothing much required of me. And I don't remember ever having a pocket friend. I don't think I did, but I did bring shells and pebbles home from the beach. And summer did mean being outdoors all day. Bike trips to the library to exchange one basketful of books for another. And reading those books by flashlight, because my parents made us go to bed ridiculously early. So I read the books by flashlight after I was supposed to be sleeping. And I also remember camping trips where we did get to stay up late, so my father could take us out when it was completely dark and teach us the constellations. Sometimes, every once in a while, I went to summer school. I loved first grade. I loved my first grade teacher. So between first and second grade, I decided, well, I want to keep doing this. So I was a pupil at a teacher training program that was held at a neighboring town's elementary school. It was a time when they were madly training new teachers because it was the sort of the tip of the baby boom, and school systems were really starting to feel it.
And I remember it as a fairly disorienting experience, exacerbated maybe by the fact that I had decided to go by my middle name, Patricia. So my parents humored me in this, but after a while, my older sister Betsy started calling me Fat Pat. And that was that. So my brief life, in fact, there was a kid in 7th grade who recognized me from the bus from that experience. And he said, "You're Pat." I went like, "No, I'm not." I don't know who you're talking about. But and the only reason it comes to mind is when I pay to park my car, because the plate number now includes the initials FP. So it makes it very easy to remember. So I just say EV Fat Pat 93. And I know my plate number. You know, our siblings can do things to us that we never forget. When I was in my teens, we began spending time on Lake Winnipesaukee at a family place that was owned by my stepmother and her 2 siblings. And we still get to go there a turn for a week or 2 each summer. And it, too, is a place of memories, mostly rainy days one. When as kids we played endless games of Michigan or Fan-Tan or Scrabble and read the musty old books that were on the shelves there. And by the lake, the dock sits on a cove with a distant view of the west side of the lake, which is, 15 miles across. And on nearly every fair day, the sunset offers some new variation on glories in every shade of pink and gold and orange and lavender. The sunset commands attention. And I realize I don't remember enough about summers with my own children, because summer by then had stopped being a time when nothing much was required of me. We do have pictures, and there's scenes from Martha's Vineyard with beautiful laughing brown boys on boogie boards in the surf. And I remember that our older son, Dan, nicknamed me Jaws, because when we went out for ice cream cones, I didn't buy my own. I just took a bite of everyone else's. For you on Zoom, I took a bite of everyone else's. I also remember when Booker lined up by the Methodist Church to get a glimpse of Bill Clinton, and I was disgusted with him at that point over the Monica Lewinsky affair, and I would not go along. And my sister and Nancy and I discussed why Hillary didn't just leave the man. That was also the summer I read Moby Dick. I don't know how, I don't know why. And while we were on vacation, my siblings helped watch the kids. And I hope I was paying attention to them too. So these are 2 memory poems, summer memory poems that I wanted to share with you. The one I've read before, it's called Childhood by Sharon Strange. She writes, "Summer brought fireflies in swarms. They lit our evenings like dreams we thought we couldn't have. We caught them in jars, punched holes, carried them around for days. Luminous abdomens that when charged with air turned bright. Imagine mere insects carrying such cargo, magical caravans flickering beneath low July skies. We chased them, amazed. The idea, those tiny bodies pulsing phosphorescence, they made reckless traffic, signaling neon flashes forever into the deepening dusk. They gave us new faith in the nasty tonics of childhood, pungent, murky liquids promising shining eyes, strong teeth, glowing skin, and we silently vowed to swallow ever after. What was the secret of light? We wanted their brilliance, small fires hovering, each tiny explosion, the birth of a new world. And this one is called Nostalgia, or The Lake at Night by Lloyd Schwartz. The black water, lights dotting the entire perimeter, their shaky reflections. The dark tree line, plap-plapping of water around the pier, creaking boats, creaking pier. Voices in conversation, in discussion, two men, adults, serious inflections, the words themselves just out of reach. A rusty screen door spring, then the door swinging shut. Footsteps on a porch, the scrape of a wooden chair. Somewhere, a child laughing, bug zappers, tires whirring along a pavement, not stopping, receding, shadows from passing headlights, a cat's eye caught in a headlight. Connect the dot constellations filling the black sky, the ladle of the Big Dipper. Not quite directly overhead. A radio tower across the lake signaling. A sudden gust of wind, branches brushing against each other. The smell of smoke, wood stove fires, a light going out. Steps on a creaking porch, a screen door spring, the door banging shut. Another light going out. My bare feet on the splintery pier, turning away from the water. So I invite you to just sit and dream for a minute about your own summer memories or your own summer hopes. Consider what it means to you to pay attention to the beauty and wonder that surrounds us, to your family, and all those you love. And Ellen will give us some music to dream by. So Booker and I went to our first Woo Sox game. That's the Worcester Red Sox, which is the Red Sox farm team that used to live in Pawtucket. We went on Friday night. They lost 9-5, but the crowd was enthusiastic. Summer still means baseball for many people. And so I want to end with one more poem that I found in a baseball collection. It's called Clothespins by Stuart Dybek. I once hit clothespins for the Chicago Cubs. I'd go out after supper when the wash was in and collect clothespins from under 4 stories of clothesline. A swing and a miss was a strikeout. The garage roof, Willie Mays pounding his mitt under a pop fly. Bushes, a double. Off the fence, triple. And over, home run. The bleachers roared. I was all they ever needed for the flag. New records every game. Once 10 homers in a row. But sometimes I'd tag them so hard they'd explode. Legs flying apart in midair, pieces spinning crazily in all directions. Foul ball. What else could I call it? The bat was real. And it's not quite June, but we're going to sing number 65, The Sweet June Days, anyway. I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and you can look forward to more beautiful days like today. Go now into this beautiful, beautiful weekend. Go in hope and go in peace.